Good day, everybody. Welcome back, and happy Friday. Okay, I'm Dr. Darrell Wolfe, and this is your live Q&A. So we won't always do Q&As on Friday, but I made a promise to everybody out there that I would try to answer your questions every week, and that's what I'm going to do. If you've got questions, you can send them in on the iPad, and well, not on the iPad. I'll get them on the iPad. But you can send them in on Facebook, Intercom, and on YouTube, okay? All right? So all your questions matter. Don't be shy. Don't put your name if you don't want to do that, okay? And just know this, that all the questions that come in today or on any show, all our shows are time-stamped. And you can go to YouTube and you can actually see where we time-stamped your question or a topic that we talked about. So it'll be a lot easier for you to be able to find out the information that you want. You can go directly to it, so you don't have to watch the whole show, okay? All right. Usually I like to do a little talk before I start, and all I want to say is this, is that my love goes out to everybody, all the families out there. Try to find peace, okay? Try to make sure that you have an external peaceful environment and an internal one. And really try to stay connected to your breath. And as a family, as a couple, or even just as an individual person, try to focus on only what you want, okay? I know there's a lot going on in the world, but I'm going to say this in the nicest way possible. Please try to mind your own business. Now, what I mean about that is when you can take action to help a brother or a sister, please do it. But when you can't, please mind your own business in connecting to your breath. When you connect to your breath and you truly do that, like something like the lion heart breathing, you connect to your higher self. When you connect to your higher self, that is a place of peace. And you're also in the present moment, which is the only place that you have power and healing. Understand something. Everybody that was sick during COVID or still is, okay, and are stressing out, just understand something. They are creating their disease to become even worse, okay? When you cannot master your emotions, when you cannot process thoughts properly, and they create conflict within your body on a mental level, they will do it on a physical level. So please, I want you to just try to do something for me. I want you to just try to love yourself as much as possible, forgive yourself as much as possible, and forgive others, and try to see what you can do this weekend to just have the most beautiful weekend of your life. And that may be just sitting in silence under a tree. I don't know what it is, but the reality is try not to keep your mind busy, because anybody who says, oh, I just like to keep busy, that's somebody who's trying to run away from themselves. Why don't you really try to get to know yourself, get to love yourself, so that you could honor yourself and protect yourself, respect yourself? Okay? I'm going to tell you right now, you're not that bad. You're actually quite amazing. Okay? I don't know. There's not much else I truly want to say, except I'm going to answer these questions today. I will tell you this. We got a few hundred clappers in. As soon as the clappers are gone from our... we have 3 warehouses in the United States, so that's why we can ship products out so quickly to people. And but as soon as those clappers are gone, then what's going to happen, because we don't have as many up here, and they're almost all gone up here in Canada. But once they're all gone, I'm going to start the clapping classes, and I'm going to show how to clap your whole body and clap different types of conditions. Just so you know, July 14th, we're going to be starting another advanced water fasting challenge. Now, I got a couple things to say about that. And that's even if you just did one day, I'm proud of you. Seriously. If you never fasted before and you can go 24 hours, isn't that amazing? And then you'll go to 2 days, and then you'll go do 3 days. And I'll tell you what I've learned with the advanced water fasting. Last week I did 5 days, and we're really busy here. And I'm working on so many projects. And you know what? It took me a few days to get my energy back. So I've decided, because I'm working so busy, right? Because work is so busy, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do like a 3-day advanced water fast, because work's not going to let up. I don't think we've ever been this busy. And it's not because of COVID. It's just that people are really starting to understand that we really care and that we've got information that they can take personal action and change their lives. If they go into our library or go to quickstart at docofdetox.com, there's so many videos online, and I'm going to bring so much more. I mean, I promise you one thing. I guarantee that I will bring in more take action videos and information than anybody else in history. And it's going to be free. Yes, that's what it's going to be. It's going to be free. And the other thing is once you start going through that, if you want someone to coach you, just know that we will build the perfect day for you. And we'll do it at a price that you'll just go, wow. And then we'll give you unlimited support for life. Because the reality is we really need to come together, because I'm going to stop talking about this right now, but there is an evil out there, and this is called the harvest period. And actually, they're not trying to harvest your money. They don't need your money. They're trying to harvest your spirit. And if you think I'm kidding, I'm a drama queen, see what happens to your children and see what's going to happen to you. And every time that they give you a crazy rule and they put an arrow on the sidewalk, they tell you to wear a mask, they give you a curfew, every rule that you decide to follow, and you can say, well, I just want to be a good person. Well, a good person is someone who's going to love, respect, and honor themselves and not listen to this BS, dysfunctional belief systems, okay? You know, what we've done, and it's the only thing I really feel bad about, and sometimes it almost makes me angry, is what we've done is we've showed them that we do not have much self-respect for ourselves. And they can pretty well tell us to eat that on a stick, and we'd actually do it. We've done a lot for them right now. We've showed them that they can roll over on us. And now they're going to put whites against blacks. They're going to do whatever they can. And everybody needs to mind their own business, okay? And only take action if you're helping a brother or sister. That's all I want to say. So on July 14th, we'll be doing an advanced water fast. I would suggest that everyone goes and takes a look at the Perfect Day Guide in the library and go to page 40 and start eating properly, a whole plant-based diet. Because whether you believe it or not, the more animal products you eat, the more you can turn cancer on and autoimmune disease. It's all proven. It's all science. So let's try to see if we can lean towards that and get ready for July 14th for the advanced water fast. And if you only do one day, hey, that's fantastic. But I'm going to try to do 3-day advanced water fast. I'm going to try to do it every week or every other week, depending on how I feel. And it's not about losing weight all the time, because it's not. But I'm going to lean down and get rid of every little bit of dis-ease inside of me to show you that anybody can do this. And understand something. Whether you want to believe this or not, okay, all right? When people look at me, they go, well, I can't do that. Well, understand something. You all have genius. You all have a practitioner inside of you. And you know what? I am absolutely no smarter than anyone else. And there's a lot of people that are actually a lot smarter than me. But the reality is I believe in me, and I have a lot of faith in me now. So you got to find faith in yourself, and you'll be surprised at what you can accomplish. You could even become the hero for your family, okay? At the end of this today, you're going to see all the links to everything that I have that's free, videos, PDFs, do-it-yourself things, are all going to be at the end, so you can just take snapshots if you want, rewatch the video, snap what you want, go to where you want, and then start doing your homework, start digging in, and then call me with your questions. Do you matter? Your questions matter. Do you matter? How much do you matter? How much value do you have? Well, I'll tell you something right now. The majority of the population has zero value. They've proven that. And it's not your fault. So when I say these things, I'm not putting anybody down. Okay, just understand something. We didn't know that we've been programmed. Okay, and we've been terribly programmed, and now we need to amazingly program ourselves. Okay, all right. So let's move on. So send in your questions. We are now taking personal treatment and trainings. They will start in July 1st from the United States. That's when flights are going to come back. So if you want to come up and do a personal treatment and training, just know that we are taking bookings. You can come yourself, your family, with your caretaker, as a couple. Take a look at our personal treatment and training manual. September 18th to 25th, I'll be doing a whole life coach certification in Tampa. Now, if you feel like life is terrorizing you, if you feel like you can't get your diet together, if you feel like there's someone in your family that you would like to help them, or you are a practitioner, you want to bring your training up to a higher level, and I do mean a higher level, or you want to become a whole life coach, nutritional, emotional, I'm going to be doing an 8-day course, and I promise you that it will be the most powerful, amazing course you've ever taken. And if you want to call the office, you can talk to me about it. My extension is number 5. It would be my honor and my pleasure to talk to you and answer your questions about it. October the 17th until November the 6th, I will be doing a combined certification course, okay? And that will be in Kelowna. Now, understand something, okay? In Kelowna, when we do our certification courses, it's small, okay? We do 10, maximum 12. I like to keep it at 10 people. That'll be our next course here. All right. So hope to see you, but it doesn't take long. We just put that one up. November the 28th to December 18th will be in Palm Springs. This will be a bigger training, and this will be the non-surgical again and the whole life coach certification. It'll be at the Omni Resort in Palm Springs. And we have unbelievable prices. If you want to come and get treatment while you're there from one of our practitioners, we'll treat you. We'll be there for 21 days. You know, come. The actual rooms, and they're going to be $115 instead of something like $250. So if you want to come and stay there, get an Airbnb, we will treat you and we will train you. But we will be also there doing certifications for people to become certified in Wolfe Non-Surgical and Whole Life Coach. Then we'll be doing the same thing in February in Ixtapa at the Ixtapa Palace World Training and Healing Center. And then after we do that, in March, we're doing a 33-day awakening in Ixtapa. So there it is, okay? So let's begin the show, everybody. I'll see what questions we have. I think we might have had one or two come in. Sarah, I have a question about healthy fats in relationship with working out. I'm drinking your daily cleansing tea, Black Gold, Tummy Love, and Curcumin Cayenne, but I want to lose a few pounds. My question is, should I completely cut out healthy fats in order to lose weight? Well, first of all, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that at all. If you want to lose weight, I would try to do a 3-day advanced water fast. So that's how you really kick in your metabolism to actually lose weight. And if you did a 6-day, wham, that would be great. But the reality is don't cut out your healthy fats. What would that be? Coconut oil. What would that be? Avocado. Okay. And then if you're into animal products, I guess if you want to call those healthy fats, I'm not going to call them healthy fats though. Other people would. All right. I'm not big on eating animal products because there's enough science out there to choke a cow, okay, to show that it's not all that healthy for you, okay? But I would not cut out my fatty acids because definitely when it comes to fatty acids help with your nervous system. And remember something, we want to buffer down the nervous system. We want to insulate the nervous system. We want to insulate the brain, okay? So that's really important, and I wouldn't cut them out. Wouldn't cut them out at all. And that's not the problem. A lot of people don't realize it, but it's just a matter of drinking more water. And then if you're drinking structured water, you're going to lose a lot more weight a lot quicker because it's the only water that truly hydrates down to the cellular level. Okay? Elizabeth, I can't tolerate my bone-on-bone knee pain. I ordered Pain Away today. What can I do in the meantime? Sage suggested using something like the clapper. When I receive it, I will. Then, yeah, but you should have ordered DMSO as well, and that's DMSO gel, plus the Pain Away essential oil. Then doing a minute of hot water and a minute of cold. Well, actually, you do 3 minutes of hot water, but not that you're going to burn your skin. And then you do a minute of ice cold water, and you do what's called a vascular flush, okay? You can try that and then repeat it 3 times. 3 minutes warm, 1 minute cold, 3 minutes warm, 1 minute cold, 3 minutes warm, 1 minute cold. You put ice on that knee and leave ice on that knee, and you're going to cause cell death. A lot of practitioners will tell you to put ice on pain. They don't know what they're talking about, okay? You can actually damage your tissue, all right? Don't do that. You're better off to get like 3 layers thick, a towel, and then run as cold a water as possible over it, and then put it on the knee and allow the heat to be absorbed slowly. Why would you put everything into shock? You know, in North America, everything is just overkill, isn't it? It's always overkill. Exercise is overkill. Eating is overkill. We have to overdo everything, don't we? You know what? Because we're programmed for it. Okay. I'm trying to avoid knee surgery. Well, you're not going to avoid knee surgery unless you get Wolfe Non-Surgical. I'll tell you that right now. If you were to come here, I would even put it on video, and I would work on you for free that first treatment, and I would show on video on Facebook with no planning, nothing. We would work on your knee, and we would give you, how about giving you 60 to 80% relief on that knee in the first treatment to prove that you're not bone on bone, that actually what's happening is the actual cartilage and the tissue in there is calcified. That's right. So when it calcifies and crystallizes, on an x-ray, it doesn't show up. And yes, you need to get clapping. But what you need to do is you should call up for a consultation. And in this consultation, it won't be just about nutrition. It won't be just about detox. But we're going to talk about the foods that also will irritate the knee, because there are certain foods that do it. But we're also going to talk, you're probably overweight. And I don't mean to be like that, but there's a good chance you're overweight as well. And that you're blocked around your lower abdomen and your pelvis, okay, with waist and maybe fibroids. Now, here's the deal. If we don't go in and pull that scar tissue apart, how are you going to get the blood flow back to go in there? And understand something, there's no such thing as knee pain at all unless there's a physical block. And the worse the physical block is from the calcification, crystallization, and the scar tissue, the more problem you're going to have with your knee. Now, you can believe this or not believe this, but maybe I'm just really lucky, eh? But do you know how many knees we work on? And we haven't had anybody go to surgery that was booked for surgery in the last 7 years, 7 years after they came here. So, you know what? You can tell me that, you know, a surgeon is a surgeon. What does a surgeon stand for? Cut. What does a doctor do? Drug. Cut and drug. So what do? We don't cut, we don't drug. And what do? We pull the scar tissue apart, allow the blood flow to come in, the lymph flow to come in, and your energy flow, which would be, we call it the field, okay? Or you could call it your spirit if you wanted to. It's energy flow. And guess what? That's what heals it. You get everything going. You get the energy going, you get the blood going, get the lymph going, you melt the crystallization, you get the calcium out of there, get it back in the bones, and you restore the scar tissue back into beautiful connective tissue. You know, the ligaments and the tendons and the cartilage in there can be restored. They don't tell you that, do they? Oh, yeah. Your body's not what you think. It's not broken. Okay? The system's broken. Okay? Please look over what I've ordered to see if I need anything else. I'm also adding the calcium today. That's right. You should be on Cardigan, and if you can afford it, go on Merigen, because Cardigan is for the joints, okay? And people, you're not going to find the SAC calcium where you can just go click and go buy it or get information, because the FDA made us hide it. We have to play hide and seek with it. That's how powerful this is. It's the only real true ion calcium in the world that will actually, it can take someone that's 85 years old, that's been on Fosamax, their bones are crumbling, and within 9 to 12 months restore their bones back to a 35-year-old. Now, you might think, wow, don't believe it. Well, you better believe it. We've had tens of thousands of people go on the product. So Cardigan's for the joints, and then Merigen is for like really chronic problems, right? Like the big C, and also, but if you have a problem and you really want to reverse it quicker, Merigen's the strongest, and it'll go through the whole body. And what it does, okay, so now you're going to have a real hard time with this. You won't even be able to wrap your head around this one. When you take the Merigen and you add that to water and you drink it, okay, it will actually take the calcium that's displaced in your body, in your joints and in your tissues, in your organs, and actually pull the calcium and put it back into the bone exactly where it was taken from. Go figure. Now tell me that's not crazy. It's all about energy. It's all about magnetism. Everything. Magnetism. Oh, I fell in love with her because I was attracted to her. She was magnetic. Okay, so everything is like attracts like, magnetism. Everything is frequency. Everything is vibration. Oh, I don't like the vibration. You know, I didn't like the feeling I got when I walked in that room. So understand something. We are light energy, electromagnetic beings, first and foremost. Even though you see this physical body, this is the smallest percentage of me. Anyways, you get the non-surgical work done, and we'll turn it around. You know, the craziest thing is, I'll tell people, I'll go, well, you know, I know you take a flight, you come here, and I said, but how would you like to reverse it? How would you like to have your life back? How would you like to get rid of the cane, the walker? How would you like to get out of that bloody wheelchair? Well, you can. Do your homework, do your research on my website, take a look at the testimonials. We don't pick and choose. They all go up. And I'll say to somebody will say, well, you know what? I'd like to bring my whole family. And I'll go, well, they'll go, how much will it cost? And I'll say, well, you know, it's usually to come here for a week. It's usually around $5,000. But you know what? It's not like you have to do it again. And guess what? You'll become your own practitioner, and you're going to know what you're doing. I mean, you know what? Think about it. You think that's a lot of money, $5,000? Yeah, it's going to change the rest of your life, and it's going to emotionally and physically get your power back. Watch the testimonials. Watch the things that we do here. Nobody does what we do. Nobody puts it together like this. Nobody does this. This is not called Pete and repeat. You're going to come to us. You're going to nail this thing. You're going to take your life back. Danielle, can children take the black gold powder or the humic acid drops? Okay, first of all, the humic acid drops, you would be talking about the Bright Eyes, okay? And the Bright Eyes, you can put it in any orifice, in your ears, in your eyes, in your sinuses, to help to bring down inflammation. And yes, anybody can do this. Understand something. I don't know any products that children can't take of ours. We're not allowed to give people things that are going to cause damage, disease, or death, okay? So always call us, or always ask questions, always challenge us. I'm more than open for that, okay? And as far as the black gold, yeah, put it in their blender drinks, all right? Mix it in their blender drinks, and you'll see with children, just do like a level teaspoon, put it in a blender drink, and then watch what happens to their bowel movements. Watch what happens to their energy levels, okay? And the black gold is right here. That's black gold, everybody. You can put that in your coffee as well. And we also use it when we percolate the coffee for the coffee enemas. Jennifer, can my 1-year-old and 3-year-old use the Bioptron? Absolutely. And just have them close their eyes, all right? Lay on their side, whatever, and you can put it on any part of their body. Now understand, even if they look into the Bioptron, okay, and you may not believe this, but I'll look into the Bioptron for a few minutes, and I'll do that every day. And the Bioptron is not dangerous, but on it, when they sell it, they say, do not look into the Bioptron light. Okay, so I know that the Bioptron light's not going to hurt me, so on a personal level, I do it. I'm not telling anybody else to do it, okay? So Bioptron light is the only polarized fullerene light in the world. So fullerene lens was made by Tesla, and the Bioptron light is the only polarized light in the world, which means that this light will actually go as deep as into the bone, and it will saturate the body and bring up the actual microcirculation in the body by about 33 to 36%, okay? And that's after only using it for 2 to 3 minutes twice a day. And you can use it more often. I'll lay there with it on my face, and I'll do an Avicin at the same time, put my hand in the Avicin, and I'll put the light on my face, and I use that as, we'll call that a meditative time, right? And I'll do that twice a day. Nazarene, can you just structure the water from the tap? Okay, so, you know, some people think I'm crazy, but I travel around the world, and I'll take tap water and just run it through my structure unit, which this is a structure unit. This is a structure unit right here. Water goes through this end, comes out this end. It vortexes in here, and there's gemstones in here. And what happens is when it vortexes, it structures the water, which means even though there might be chemical in the water, okay, and you're not going to like this, everyone, but even though there could be other things in the water, it won't harm my body. Now, people can't wrap their head around it, so you can go and buy bottled water that was in a plastic jug that is carcinogenic, and when you taste plastic, then it's really carcinogenic, but and then pour it through here and then drink it. I prefer not to do that. I'll take it straight from the tap. When I'm in India teaching, or when I go to China, or I go to Asia, or I go to Mexico, I just take it straight from the tap. Now, you think I'm crazy? Well, I don't get diarrhea. I don't get stomach problems. Structured water is what it is. And if you go to my library and you read about the structured water, and you also watch the video by Dr. Darrell Wolfe, he's the father of water. He explains fourth phase water and how you can just structure it and you don't have to purify it, and you're actually protected by it, and how you could purify water in a distiller, reverse osmosis, and you're still getting the vibration of whatever chemical or whatever drug was in there, or viral or bacterial. Go figure, eh? So people think, you know what? Isn't it funny? So I'm going to bring out this course called Thrive, okay? How to Thrive on Planet Earth. And when I go through this course, it's going to be about 12, 14 hours long, eh, Drake? And when I go through this course, you're going to find out that you've been lied to about everything. You've been lied to about everything. You know, you're only alive for the grace of God. Right now, you're being lied to more than you've ever been in history, and most of the people are falling for it. So you're going to keep on getting lied to, and, you know, the biggest thing, the biggest shame I think that is happening right now is the fear that people have with their government and with their so-called leaders. Everybody just fears their leaders and fears the government, fears the police, fears everyone, you know, and that's really what's going to end it all for everybody. Okay? So you better watch out. That's all I'm going to say. You better watch out. But I'm going to be releasing this. And when I do release Thrive, you know, the funniest thing is, we can have Bill Gates and Fauci and all these other people tell lies. And all you do is get fearful and you freak out. And then I'm going to tell all this truth. And I guarantee you, there's going to be people out there so pissed off at me. So pissed off. And you know why? It won't be their heart. It won't be their spirit. It'll be their subconscious. Because you know what? Nobody likes being told something for 20, 30, 40, 50 years and then have some guy like me, who's a fake doctor, right? That's what they call us, fake doctors, if we're not medical doctors, come and tell you something and you go, my God, that can't be true. Because guess what? You can tell the truth one time and people will walk away from you and go, forget it. Okay? You can tell a lie 1,000,000 times, and long as it's been told 1,000,000 times, it becomes the truth. Well, look at the lie we're living right now. Okay. Darrell, be nice. Timothy, can you describe thrombosis, cause and cures? Okay, well, thrombosis is the formation of a blood clot, known as thrombus, within a blood vessel. It prevents blood from flowing normally through the circulatory system. Okay. I'm going to try to make this as simple as possible. If there was a river going through town and everybody just dumped their garbage into it, what would happen? Well, that means that on the corners and where the circulation was a little slower, the garbage would collect, right? Okay, it would clump up. All right. So understand something. You don't get a blood clot unless you're low in oxygen. You don't get a blood clot unless you eat sticky, glicky foods. You don't get a blood clot unless you have sick thoughts. What are you talking about, sick thoughts, Dr. Wolfe? You're so crazy. Let me tell you something. Sick beliefs cause a sick blood. Sick beliefs cause sick blood. Now, every time that you have a sick belief and that belief makes you feel sick, you're dumping adrenaline, cortisol into your body. That acidity goes into your bloodstream, eats up oxygen. Now, you ready for this? If you have a blood clot, then you do not eat light. So I'm not saying you eat heavy, but you probably do. You eat a lot. You eat way too much. Everybody's eating themselves to death, aren't they? Especially, I eat when I'm bored. I eat when I'm nervous. I eat when I'm excited. I eat when we celebrate. I eat when I don't celebrate. If I can't sleep, I eat. If I get up in the night, I can't. So it never ends, right? So the reality is here. What are blood cells? What's their main job? Their main job is they are what? They're transporters of light. Okay? I'm telling you, they are. So if you're not getting light, sunlight, if you're not eating light meaning vegetables and fruits, right? Okay? Then you're not going to get light. So they're vessels of light and communication. Now, when you go and get your blood tested, they go, oh, your blood is sticky. All the blood vessels are sticking together. You've got bacteria in there. You got viruses in there. And a virus is just it's like the waste product from cells, okay? And it's all sticking up and it's globbing up. Well, that's unhealthy. I understand that. But you're not going to get a blood clot and have things stick together if you have a high vibrational thoughts and a high vibrational diet. So if you were on the Perfect Day diet, which is in the Perfect Day guide in my library, and you were to actually start getting into intermittent fasting, then doing a 1 day, learning how to do a 2 day, maybe up to a 3 day fast, and do a 3 day fast maybe once every 2 weeks, and do a 1 day fast once a week, you would never have this problem, especially if you're drinking structured water, because your blood is mainly made out of water. Okay? So that's the problem, blood clotting, okay? So a lot of people get blood clots. And what do you think varicose veins are, which we're going to go on to in a minute here? And that means really sluggish blood because of glicky, sticky blood. And your veins even have less oxygen than your arteries do, right? And your heart really pumps the arteries, okay, pumps the blood in the arteries. And the veins are closer to the top of the skin because you're supposed to exercise. So if you're constipated, okay, and you don't drink a lot of water and you eat a lot of dead foods, then you're going to get varicose veins. Mary says, how do I get rid of varicose veins? Well, Mary, how do you get rid of varicose veins? First of all, Mary, give me a second here. It just jumped. Yeah, first of all, Mary, here's the deal. How do you get rid of them? Well, the first thing is, I think the first thing would be, how did you get them, Mary? Okay, I'll tell you. So veins, arteries, lymph, they're all river systems, aren't they? They're river systems in your body. So if a river doesn't have enough water, it's not going to move things along. So if you don't drink enough water, and if it's not structured water, then it's not going to hydrate properly. And I know that. And I can back this up. Everything I can back up with science. So I'm not just coming off, and just blopping everything out here. Now, the next thing is that it's your large intestine. Okay? So when somebody gets, especially women, they'll get varicose veins when they're pregnant or when you're overweight. But all of this isn't because of the overweight. It's not because of the pregnant. It's actually because you're constipated. That's not true. I go to the bathroom. It's not what comes out. It's what stays in. And what stays in, if it stays in too long, you absorb it and it goes into your system. And when it goes into your system, you're pooping in your bloodstream. You're pooping in your tissues, small particles. And because the veins carry the dirty blood, it's already dirty, and then add on it to somebody who's constipated and they've got cellular vascular constipation now, toxemia, because the large intestine, believe it or not, most people have terrible bowels. I mean, I keep saying this, but people don't listen. If you got on the daily cleansing tea, Black Gold, Tummy Love, okay, and then you're going to call me back in 3 to 4 weeks and go, I haven't felt better. Well, of course, you got to get the cork out of the bottle. And if you were to do the tea in the morning and at night, you'd have 2 to 3 bowel movements every day. You know what? Everything would go up. Your energy levels, better sex drive, better healing, better sleeping, better moods, okay? Because you're not going to feel SHITTY, right? You're not going to feel like that. Oh my God, I feel beep, beep, right? Well, you do feel beep, beep because you're absorbing beep, beep. And guess what? Because everybody does it, nobody really thinks about it. And because doctors have been told to ignore the large intestine, except for going in and annihilating it with antibiotics or chemotherapy or radiation or any other medication. All medications destroy the proper communication between the gut and the brain. Once you have gut and brain disconnection, okay, you are in trouble, okay? You won't have clear thought. You'll have mood swings. You'll have thyroid problems. You'll have muscle aches and pains. You'll have fibromyalgia. I mean, it's just a domino effect. You'll back up waste in the liver. You'll overload your kidneys. The lymph won't even move anymore, and you'll start feeling like you've got fat under your armpits, and there's no such thing. That's just the congestion and the waste, and then that's going to lead to breast problems. Okay. Anyways, where was I? So, anyway, spider veins. Okay, I'll tell you right now. Spider veins, you can get rid of them. Yep, you can get rid of them. So here's the deal. So you want to get and do what I said. Look at the Perfect Day diet. Get on a whole plant-based diet, and then start looking at the advanced water fasting. Get on the Tummy Love Black Gold Daily Cleansing Tea. And if you decided to do a coffee enema, game on. Game on. Let's clean that filter of your blood. And then guess what? What are we going to do? Well, we're going to get vein away. Okay, so that's for veins. It's an essential oil. You put that right on the veins. You're going to put it on as often as you can, but you're going to lightly start to clap the veins and around them. And if the veins are large, just clap around them. And okay, if I had a vein, let's say right here on my cheek, okay, right here, it's not going to be on my cheek, but let's say the vein was right here. I would clap above the vein, just a little bit above it, and I'd clap all around it, and guess what? You haven't even started clapping on it, and you're going to see it start to come down. Now, it depends how many varicose veins you have on your leg and how long you've had them, okay? But if you also got on FiberClear, and you also got on Curcumin Cayenne 5000, and you did the things I just told you, we're going to clear those out. But here's the deal, everyone. I'm going to tell you this and tell you this and tell you this. Get a consultation from us. $125. $25 goes towards product. So it's $100. We send you the audio. It's 1 hour long. And then you can call us for life. You know, I'm caught up on all my calls here. It's Friday. And now, if you go to my consultation page, you'll see I have probably around 8 master consultants. They're ready to do the work, ready to ask your questions, and ready to work with you for a lifetime. Why did we put this together? We put it together and we made it this price when COVID broke out, because you know what? We just said, we better take action here, and we better give it to everybody at a price that everybody can afford. All right? Because guess what? Somebody's got to become the light for your family. Okay? So anyway, so you're going to do that. Start there. There are other things you can do. And remember something. Varicose veins are a block. Okay? They are a block, but you wouldn't have them if you weren't blocked at your waistline. Your waistline is blocked, and your waist is being absorbed into your pelvic area, and it's getting into your bloodstream, and it's getting into your tissues. And anybody with varicose veins also can either have cysts on the ovaries, fallopian tube problems, bladder infections, okay, endometriosis, fibroids. How am I doing? Trust me, I know I'm right. I know I'm right. And you'll find with people with varicose veins, whether it's men or women, that they'll have usually like 2 little baby fists. If it's men, just on either side, a little lower than the bladder. And if it's women, you'll find it right by their ovaries. And that's massive scar tissue and crystallization. Okay? And that's being caused from the inflammation, from the infection that's dumping in from the large intestine. That's all. Okay. Mary, I have been stepping on my smallest toe for years. I have tried a toe spacer. I've been stepping on my smallest toe. I don't know how you're stepping on your smallest toe when it's outside your foot. that hasn't worked well. Is there something that I can do to fix this? Okay, well, I need a picture. I need a picture of your foot, and I'm trying to think how you could even step on your smallest toe. And if maybe what you're saying is you're stubbing your toe. And if you're stubbing your toe, then maybe your toe has a block in it, crystallization and scar tissue, and you need to get in there. You're going to have to give me more information. Rhonda, what do you suggest for bed sores? You're not going to like this. You're not going to like this at all. Do you know when fruit goes bad and it starts to rot at the weakest point and it gets really mushy, right? Okay. Do you know what happens when people rot? They have bed sores. So I know that that person might be in the bed longer than most people, but understand that's called a circulation block. Now, if this person is older, how can you help this person? Well, the reality is if it's in a nursing home, good luck with that, because they get way too much of the wrong sodium. They don't hydrate properly, and they're probably drugged, so they're terribly constipated. So understand something. If this is an older person, I guarantee that they're beyond constipated. They're impacted. And if they're not that, then they've got diarrhea because the body's gone into crisis because they're rotting inside, but they're still rotting inside. And what happens is bed sores, why don't we call it like it really is? Bed sores are tissue rotting. Bed sores are tissue rotting. You know, we always use different words, you know that, right? Like PTSD is actually shell shock, but who's going to call it shell shock? They used to in the First World War, but then they said, oh my God, we can't call it that. If we're going to send all these poor bastards over to fight our war to get the mineral rights and pretend that, you know, the world's going to end, we got to call it like PTSD and calm it down. We can't call it shell shock because then they could probably sue us. So everything has got to change, eh? Bed sores. No, not bed sores. Tissue rot. The tissue's rotting. So what are you going to do to help the tissue? Well, we got to increase the circulation around the sore. So, you know, you can use things like an aloe salve on it. You can use silver gel. That's what we would use. I would get like a larger Band-Aid, or, you know, you can get a big pack like this. Put a lot of gel on it, and I would probably put gel on it, and I would also mix the gel with bright ice so that I could absorb a lot of the acidity infection. But guess what? None of that is going to help unless we get that poor guy, girl, their bowels moving properly. We get them hydrated with structured water, and we get their nutrients up. Get them on something like, get them on Daily Cleansing Tea, Tummy Love Black Gold, but get them on Sinonian Minerals. And what about getting them on Infinite Iodine? What about vitamin D? Because I bet you if they got bed sores, nobody lets them go outside. So where's the vitamin D? And you better be putting them on enough vitamin D. If it was me, I'd want 15,000 IUs of vitamin D. None of this 4,000 or 2,000 ID vitamin D, because vitamin D is not a vitamin. It's a hormone regulator and immune modulator. It's not even a vitamin. So there's lots of things that we would do for the bed sores. That poor person who's got the bed sores, somebody should put out and get them a consultation. And I'll tell you, you'll never turn back and you'll never look back. And the reality is, if we have somebody caretaking them that actually cares, because just because there's a caretaker doesn't mean they care. Okay? And if they're in a nursing home, good luck with that one. All right? Tracy, hi, Dr. Wolfe. I have a mass on my heart, and doctors have given me 2 months' time. I am not ready to give up. What can I do? Here's the deal. Okay? Listen, sweetie, get a consult, but I will tell you right now, if you don't live far, come on in. Let me work around your heart and make sure that we get rid of any crystallization, calcification, and let's get the scar tissue opened up so that we can get the blood supply in, and then let's take a look at your diet. And let me tell you something. If I had a heart problem and a mass on my heart, I would be going on a juice fast right now. I would do that for a few days to get myself ready, and then I would go on an advanced water fast. And if you go and look at my advanced water fasting guide, and then don't tell me that you're going to go to a doctor And then you're going to say to the doctor, well, you know what? I talked, this guy said that I should go on a perfect day diet, then do some juice fasting for a few days, and then go on an advanced water fast, and then ask your doctor, you know what to say? Oh my God, that could kill you. But meanwhile, what did he just say? You got 2 months. So understand something. It's not going to kill you. People don't die from these things. Let me tell you something. If we were to put you on a juice fast, even to start right now, carrot juice, celery juice, and then we were to get you to take in what's called FiberClear, which is a systemic enzyme, you know what it does? It eats up scar tissue. It eats up things that are blocking, like calcium in the way. It eats up hardened cholesterol. Okay? All right? So here's the deal. We get you on that, maybe get you on some curcumin cayenne, get you doing the Avicin, which I don't have here. Can you show me the Avicin? So the Avicin will increase your microcirculation by 66%. Is that pretty damn good? And then that increases it 100% more than any other energy medicine device. And what if we had you skin brushing, right? And you increase the circulation in your whole body, got the dead skin cells off, the largest organ in the body so it could breathe better. And if you can't do it, love, if you got 2 months to live, there's got to be somebody out there that loves you enough to take action. And if you want, when you do the consult, I'll do the consult with the master consultant, and we'll put this together, and you can forget being around for 2 months. I guarantee you'll be around to haunt your family for a long time to come. And that's the God's truth. Let me tell you that they're not lying to you. If you were to do nothing, if you were to just live with your bad habits and the normal diet and the normal lifestyle that you have, yes, you probably have 2 months. But the reality is, if you didn't believe them and your mind said that you were going to live longer, you'd live longer. But what if you were to actually take personal action and get rid of the issues in your tissues? Well, now we've got a new body, so it's got a new game. So you know what? Change your personality to change your reality, and let's just do this, okay? I just want to show it. That's called an Avicin. You just have to put your hand in it, turn it on, and it puts you into a parasympathetic state, okay? And that is a healing state. All right. So you can call me. I'm extension number 5. So I'm not asking you to jump in and buy into the consultation, but it's $125, okay? All right? And we give a money-back guarantee. So understand that. And I do give a money-back guarantee. And you know what? I get it. You know, we've had some people, and I know the consultation went well, and money got tight, and I know they asked for their money back. I've never had anybody ask for money back in probably over a year and a half, and we've had like 3 in probably, you know, in about the last probably 2 months. Go figure, eh? So I get it. You know, they have money problems. Okay, so Tracy, just give us a call, Tracy. Just know this. As soon as you embrace your body, God gave you the most amazing body. I'm telling you right now, we know how to turn this around. And everything we do, nothing is going to be dangerous, okay? Margot, can babies 15 months consume the daily cleansing tea? Yes, they can. So then you're going to go by weight. So if a 150-pound person could do 8 ounces twice a day, then go by weight and then do the calculations. Now, when you give the baby the tea, because it's not a laxative tea, it's not a stimulant tea, understand, what you're going to do is watch their stool. If their stool comes out kind of mushy, back off a little bit. You know, if it comes out a little bit more formed, but you know, when it hits the water, it kind of falls apart a little bit, that's okay. But I just don't want liquid poo-poo. And that would be with a baby or with anyone else. And understand something, everyone. Your bowel movements are your computer printout. They tell you how well you are. And when you are not going to the washroom, what are you not letting go on an emotional level? And understand something. What you don't let go on an emotional level is going to eat away at you. What you don't let go on a physical level is going to rot inside you and eat you away. Remember the bed sores? Well, not just bed sores. What about heart disease? What about colitis? Okay, what about cancer? All of these things are infection that leads to inflammation that leads to, finally, mutation. Mary, how much cleansing tea do you need per day? Me? Well, to tell you the truth, because of the diet and the way that I live, I do about 4 ounces of daily cleansing tea, and I do that twice a day. So was there a time when I did more? Yeah. But understand something. Let me see. Do you want to know what I did today? Okay. So today, I drank 3 quarts of water, and I had Sinonian minerals, and I had some ATP, which I have some ATP here for energy, and I haven't done anything else today. Oh, wait, that's not true. I had a quart of carrot juice. And then my drinking water, I had Tummy Love, and then when I get done here, I'll have a blender drink, and I'll have some black gold in it, and that'll be made out of, I'll have strawberries, and I'll have plant protein, and black gold, some magnesium in it, and I'll have a raw egg in it, and that'll be it. And then tonight I might have a salad. But honestly, I'm not that hungry, okay? So understand something. You know, everything, you're programmed for everything. What do you think the food industry wants you to do? Never stop eating. Well, that's kind of obvious. Okay, so, and what you'll do with the daily cleansing tea, everyone, if you've never seen it before, this is it. That's the daily cleansing tea, and it's daily. What you want to do is you always want to make sure you have 2 to 3 bowel movements a day, and it'll go up and down with your moods, okay, because your moods play on your digestive tract. You know, it's like, oh, I can't digest that. He makes me sick to my stomach. Oh, I feel nauseous, you know. So our emotions will play on that, and then our diet, and then depending on what kind of water, how much water we drink. Karen, hi, Dr. Wolfe. I wanted to know if stem cell treatment would help with severe dry skin damage and nerve damage from some type of acid chemical poisoning that caused problems all over my body with systemic chemical burn. My pores are closed off as well over my body and don't sweat properly. Get a consultation. Let me tell you something right now. If you did the skin brushing, okay, and you did that, and you did it right, so when you skin brush, you can start easy, but you really want to get in there. Look how hard I go. I'm going as hard as I can, right? Not a lot of dust come off, but you want to do this every day, and then you want to do a salt glow. And when you do the salt glow, you know the areas where you really feel like you had the burn, you'll just pick a certain area about this big every day. That is it. But you'll do the Epsom salt glow on the whole body. But then you'll do the Epsom salt glow with just a cupful, 1 cup, and you'll put a teaspoon of cayenne in the really stubborn areas. Then you'll use the cayenne because that'll really stimulate the circulation. And also understand something. If you get doing clapping, okay, so watch the clapping. Go watch the clapping. Everything at the end, all my links for everything I'm talking about is at the end of the show today. And start doing the belly button therapy. Get hydrated. Get a structure water unit and hydrate yourself. And what else I want to say? Oh, if you get somebody to do the Wolfe Non-Surgical and they go do your whole body and just pull the scar tissue apart. When you have the chemical burn, you've got scar tissue in your fascia. You have scar tissue in your fascia. I don't care how long you massage with your hands. It's not going to work. Acupuncture is not going to work. Chiropractor is not going to work with this. So understand, physio is not going to work with this. I just told you what's going to work with this. Skin brushing, salt glows, clapping, Wolfe Non-Surgical. That's what's going to work. And understand something. Your skin is a direct mirror of your large intestine. There's that large intestine again. Get on the daily cleansing tea. Get on the curcumin cayenne 5000 and the fiber clear. And make sure you're also taking the marine essentials. You need fatty acids for that skin. And then get yourself on the perfect day diet. And then we'll take a look at fasting. But I'd like to know what your weight is. Because anybody that got burnt like you might be underweight because you're so stressed out over this that the acid is just eating you up. So if you want, you can call me and we can talk about it, okay? Just know this. You don't have to live like this. And if you decide to live like this, it's because your subconscious believes that you deserve to suffer. So then I'm going to ask you, why do you have so much guilt? Because anybody, with everything I've said and everything I've offered, if you can't move forward, ask yourself why you hate yourself. And I'll tell you something. Just because you've never heard this before doesn't make it wrong. And I'll tell you right now, I'm right. I've been doing this for 40 years, and I'm right about this. Okay? All right, we'll come back to the pad now. I'm trying to do both pad, jump back and forth here. So let me just find out where I was. Is it a good idea to turn off the tracking on our phones? Kirk, you got to be kidding me. Okay, I can't tell you what to do, Kirk, but you want somebody to track you? You want somebody to track everywhere you go? Kirk, I'm going to tell you something. So now in most of the restaurants in this town here, if you go to this town, they go, what's your phone number? What's your name? And I go, bye. Let me tell you something. You have no rights when you give up your rights, Kirk. You have no rights when you give up your rights, Kirk. And you know what? We get what we deserve. And I'll tell you something. We don't deserve this, but we kind of get it because we've been sleeping on the job. Everything they say, we just do it. Are we done being scared? I'm not. Okay. Can you advise how to break down scar tissue after Achilles tendon surgery? My ankle still gets swollen after I tried to jog 45 minutes. Surgery was 2 years ago. First of all, I wouldn't jog for 45 minutes. I think jogging is abusive. I think rebounding for 45 minutes, go spend $800 and get a good rebounder. You know, I'm telling you, that's the way to go. But you know what? We live in a world of self-abuse. Okay, and you're going to go, but I like jogging. I like running for 45 minutes. Yeah, it's hard on the joints. It's hard on the whole body. And we know that runners, out of every sport you can do, runners live shorter lives than anyone else. And runners have runner's heart, where the heart gets really big because it's trying to pump, and because you get so acidic from running, you don't take in enough minerals. And if I was a runner, you better take my Sinonian minerals in, and you better load yourself up on those things because you're burning your minerals out. Now, Achilles tendon problem. First of all, the Achilles tendon is already the most tough tendon almost in the body, isn't it? It's tough, even when it's healthy. So what we got to do is take a look at our Wolfe Non-Surgical, go to the A to Z Masterclass, okay? And you can get that by sending an email to quickstart@docofdetox.com and get a whole bunch of the 7 empowering steps, or just go to my library and go into the A to Z Masterclass guide and read from page 5 to 40, and you'll understand what you're doing. You are micro-tearing your accident. Now, you're not going to tear it right out, but by continually inflaming it and it swells every time, the scar tissue is going to get worse and worse and worse until you won't even be able to walk. Now, I could go in there and do Wolfe Non-Surgical, and I could get rid of that probably in about a half an hour. And if I couldn't get rid of it, I'll get rid of 80%, and I'm willing to do that on Facebook and show the whole world. Remember something. You got to get this. I don't make stuff up. I back things up with everything I say. When people come here to us, or we treat them, we go way beyond their expectations. They're blown away. Because it's always been a scar tissue issue, but there's no practitioners out there dealing with this or working on this. They bring the pain down, but I don't want my pain managed. I want it eliminated. And you're not going to do that until you untie the knots. Okay. Hey, aren't you glad it's the weekend? I'm telling you, I am. I am really going to enjoy this weekend. Okay, I enjoy every weekend. I enjoy every day. Okay? What an adventure we're living right now. And you know what? I'm really going to pass this adventure really well. I'm going to honor that which created me. And I'm going to hold on to my spirit and my dignity. And I'm not going to let anybody tell me what to do. Are you? Okay. All right. What do you recommend for leaky gut syndrome? Thank you, Dr. Wolfe, for all good you do. Listen to me. Leaky gut syndrome. Everybody's got leaky gut. There's not one person I know that doesn't have leaky gut. And if you've ever taken antibiotics, you got leaky gut. And you do know this, right? That right now, the minimum that a North American person takes in for what we call the majority or the normal diet is 20% of your diet is sugar. Okay. So anyways, between flour and sugar and dairy and antibiotics and alcohol and prescription drugs, you totally create a leaky gut. And how do you get rid of a leaky gut? Well, the first thing is black gold, tummy love, and daily cleansing tea. That's where you start. And understand something. I'm going to tell you this again. If you were to rewatch this whole thing or go to Quick Start at docofdetox.com and just follow my guidance. But the day you really want to get rid of this, I'll give you a guarantee you're going to get rid of it. If you do 85 to 90% what I ask, get a consultation. How would you like to have a protocol that's made for your personality, your reality, and as you grow, we grow with you. And you always feel welcomed and loved when you call, no matter how often you call. Okay. All right. So leaky gut, what does leaky gut mean? You've got holes in your intestine, and it's usually in your large intestine. And what's it from? It's from fungus. Okay, so 1 out of 2 people are going to get cancer. Actually, it averages out to 42%. Okay, but some years it's over that. Some years it's heart disease that people die the most, and some years it's cancer. But cancer is a fungus. Sinusitis is a fungus. Vaginitis is a fungus. Jock itch is a fungus. Brain fart. Eczema is a fungus. Psoriasis is a fungus. Okay? So where there's fungus, there's parasites. Where there's parasites, there's bad bacteria. Where there's bad bacteria, there's worms. Okay? So you get they all come to the parasite party. But what fungus does, it's very special. So what you get is you get yeast, which we have. It's natural occurring. We need it in our body. The yeast turns into fungus, and the fungus drills holes through you because you turn on the fungus because you lower the vibration so low, and your body thinks it's dying. So the fungus come alive so that it can return your body back to the soil. Isn't that beautiful? It really is, except we're turning it on way too soon because antibiotics and a lot of the prescription drugs and some of the foods you're eating are below the zero vibration, so it automatically turns yeast into fungus, and then we call them drill bit predators. Now you got leaky gut. So first of all, we got to heal the environment. That's what we got to do. So let's take a look at that, and let's start monitoring what we put in our mouth and what we put in our mind. Okay? Where are we here? Krista, can you coach us on raising spiritually healthy and confident children? Absolutely. Okay. First of all, you got to get rid of the parents. Okay. You think I'm kidding? Now let me tell you something. But maybe it's not the parents. Just get rid of the men, okay? Because that's usually the problem, okay? So men are the problem. They're usually big babies. They like to push people around. They're kind of bullies. We're raised like that. And I'm not trying to pick on you men, but that's the way it is. I'm going to tell you something right now, whether you like this or not. So I had a lady that was going to come. She needed this so badly. They've spent tens of thousands of dollars. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. You know, that's what he said, okay? And anyways, we refunded her money because I don't want to try to talk him into it. He gets on there, he goes, we spent tens of thousands of dollars. And I said, yeah, but did you ever do these things or try to get rid of the scar tissue? Because she's going to have knee surgery. She doesn't want to go have knee surgery. So I said that you come here. She says, I'm bone on bone. I said, you're not bone on bone. So anyways, he gets on the phone, and you know what? You can already tell that they're the love. Okay, she's a pain in his ass. He doesn't want to spend any more money. I said, if you look at my stuff, you'll see it's logical. If you look at the testimonials on there, we don't pick and choose. Just see. And where are you from? Oh, we're from Edmonton. I said, well, guess what? A couple just left from Edmonton, and the husband brought the wife because guess what? She was supposed to get hip surgery. And he came here and said nothing was wrong with him. Go look at it. I did the show on Wednesday night, right? Couples training and treatment. And I didn't coach them. They said what they needed to say. Go watch it. I said, they're from Edmonton. If you want, I'll let you call them. And her family told her not to come to me because I'm a quack. And basically, so now What does she do? She comes anyways because she doesn't want surgery. Some people just don't want it. Thank you very much. Nobody wants a knife taken to them, at least most people, unless you're running a hate program. So I said you could even call them after you've done your homework. Well, that wasn't good enough. So the reality is here is I got to tell you something. Men are a real pain in my butt because here's the deal. Women are healing the world. 95 to 97% of the people of the population are women that search out things like this. Isn't that something? Men, okay, they're lost, okay? They were supposed to protect the family, and now because they don't have to protect the family from wild animals, and they don't have to protect the family from anyone attacking the house, they forgot what their job was. Their job was to make sure that the government doesn't, and the medical system and all the other system and me or anyone else doesn't hurt their family. So men forgot what their jobs were. Their job was to protect their wife, protect their children. What kind of food is coming into the house? What kind of environment have they created in that home to protect their beautiful family? Anyways, let's get back to it. How do we have spiritually healthy children? I'll tell you right now. First thing is get them love bands and play with them. Okay, I just had a conversation with a woman, and she's really worried about her children and about their little spirits being taken. Seriously, and I understand that. Somebody could have said that to me before, and I'd say, what do you mean? But yeah, like that's not happening. So I told her to order the Love Band Life Bands and then read to the kids about this, how this is a hug, this is a kiss. And then to get the kids, every time they're scared, to click this and go 3, 2, 1, I got this. I'm the Braveheart hero. And then every time the kids go to the washroom, to look in the mirror and talk to themselves and say, you know, if they're, let's say his name was Jimmy. Jimmy, I will love, protect, honor, and respect you all day long, and I will make really good decisions, okay? First and foremost, before anyone else or anything else, so help me God. And I told her, too, when the kids come home, ask your children what was their high moment, and then ask your children what was their fear of the day, what stuck out for them. And then I said to her, I want you to tell them what your high moment was and what you feared, and you be totally honest and stop lying to them and be totally honest. And she goes, well, you know what? I do that. And I said, yeah, what? Like once a month, once every 2 months? Well, yeah. I go, no, it has to happen every day. There's predators out there. And guess what? The teachers are predators now. Every adult out there is a predator. If you take a look at the majority of the population, they've all given in to this poisoning, okay? And you're sending your kids out to these poison adults. That's why they call it adulteration. Myself, I would not be sending my kids to school. I would not be sending my kids out anywhere except hanging around with, I know, other lovely little spiritual Braveheart heroes, okay? And that would be it, okay? The world is full of contamination, and there's an agenda, okay? If you go and look at my Braveheart 12 Loving Steps, and the more of those you try to do with your children, and also do the couples connection, like the couples connection with your daughter, your child, and that's where you're facing them, and your legs are open, you're on the floor, and then they're facing you, and their legs are on top of yours, but they're and you put your hand around their back, and they put their hands around you, and you gaze in each other's eyes, and you don't say a word. And then connect your spirits together, okay? So do the mirror work, do sticky notes, and get your child to put sticky notes all around the bedroom, all around at their eyesight, and you help them. You know the ones, they're lime green, orange, red, yellow, and you let them put sticky notes up all around. Like 3, 2, 1, I got this. I'm amazing. I love my life. I'm a genius, okay? My mom and dad are my best friend, okay? Today's another beautiful day, okay? I'm a Braveheart, okay? All right. I am the light, okay? And that's it. So go into the Braveheart 12 Loving Steps and get into that with passion, with purpose with them, and make them understand that their little spirit is 99.999999996 of them. And the physical body, they need to honor and respect that. And the more that they honor and respect and love themselves, They will make healthy choices, and they will pick healthy friends, because there are going to be so many toxic children, bullies. There's going to be children out there that hate themselves, dislike themselves, and they're angry because their mommy and daddy let them down. And because their daddy's a bully, okay, or their mother is so full of fear, that there's no peace in their house. So we need little Braveheart heroes today. So look at the Braveheart 12 Loving Steps, best thing you could ever do for your kids. And then if you really want to, just join my Braveheart masterclass. And I give all of it. It's all for free. Just go to quickstart@docofdetox.com, and then every night go and bring the slides up, and you can listen to me, okay? And I'll be talking about how to become a Braveheart and how to have a Braveheart life. That's what you do. And the other thing is this. You practice happy for yourself. Okay? You can't give what you're not. If you're not going to connect to your breath, if you're not going to wear a slight smile, and if you're not just going to focus, you got to focus on what you want. And you mind your own business. And what is your business? Your business is your family. Your business is to bring them up. Okay? Your business, when your kids get snotty or when they're depressed, you can tell. Don't be too busy. You got to be able to stop what you're doing right then and there. Okay? Kids will cause trouble when they can't get your attention. And they can't get your attention if you buy into this COVID thing. I can tell you something, that when I was a lot younger, I always thought I couldn't make enough money. And I had a real poverty attitude. And I got it from my parents. God love them. I don't have that anymore. And that is one of the things you need to get rid of. But Darrell, you don't understand. We have bills. Don't focus on the bills. Focus on having so much money that you don't mind the bills. I know it's challenging right now. I'm not telling you it's easy. But I will tell you this. I'm here for you as much as I can be. All right? Okay, where are we here? I can't believe all the questions coming in today. It's blowing my mind, okay? Krista, just know that you asking what you can do to spiritually have healthy children, you're a beautiful mom. I want you to know that. God bless you. Mary, would taking black gold reverse my spider veins? Mary, the daily cleansing tea, Tummy Love Black Gold. You know what? You need a team, okay? Then please start drinking enough water, because you're not, and get on a whole plant-based diet, and then do what I said earlier. Can you go back and just go back about half hour, Half hour, 40 minutes, I talked about varicose veins. Tina, abscess tooth. I ate raw garlic and symptoms left. Wow. Okay, 1 second, it jumped. Let me just do this more. Give me 1 second, everybody. I'm just going to get rid of all the messages that I've done already so that they don't keep hopping. So get yourself a drink of water if you'd like, or something. Okay. All right. Abscess tooth. I ate raw garlic. Symptoms left. I thought it went away. Months later, it's back. Feel like spread more. Garlic still helps with symptoms, but what else can I do to avoid antibiotics? Abscess tooth is a pocket of pus. So why aren't you pulling it out? That can form in different parts of a tooth as a result of bacterial infection. Why don't you pull the tooth out? If it's too rotten, I'm not sure why you're not doing this, or get it filled, and don't get it filled with silver filling, otherwise a mercury filling, okay, because it's 50% mercury. Don't do that either. But just know this, that most of the time of gum problems and infection problems, it's actually bowel problems. Okay, so it's not gum disease, it's bum disease. That's why you get bad breath all the time. That's why you get plaque on your teeth. It's not from food you ate. If you're brushing your teeth, you get plaque because you're breathing up particles, poo particles. Yeah, that's right. Hot air rises. Now, look at this. You can use castor oil. Okay, it's better for oil pulling than coconut oil. You can then take what we call healthy mouth essential oil, put in enough healthy mouth into the castor oil, and then do an oil pull, but make sure it's tingling in the mouth. That'll be enough to do a bacterial elimination, right? We're not allowed to say to kill the bacteria. It creates an environment that the bacteria can't live in. How's that? And do that castor oil pull. Then have the healthy mouth, put a couple drops in your mouth every couple hours, swish it around your saliva, and let it kind of settle in around where the tooth is not doing well. Swish it in with the saliva, and then spit it out, rinse your mouth. Now do that every couple of hours, and that's going to help to bring it down. But the reality is, the bigger the hole, any food particles get in there, it's going to add to it even more. All right? You might want to get yourself a water pick. I don't know. But if it was a tooth that can't be repaired, then why is it in your mouth? You've got to get it out. You do not want any type of gum disease because that infection goes into your bloodstream. It's really hard on your heart, and it's really hard on your breasts if you're a woman, especially if it's root canal. Root canals are so dangerous for women, you have no idea. Let me tell you, 50% of the time that a woman has a breast cancer, you'll find that she has a root canal on the same side of her mouth as the breast cancer. Okay? All right. Tina, could you advise how to properly clap your eyes? I was in a head-on collision. One eye is now sagging. Okay. When you clap the eyes, okay, you're going to cup your hand and you're going to do this. Look. Now that's not even hitting my eye. I can leave my eye open, okay? But if you want to help your eye and the sagging, okay, it may also be scar tissue. If it's the upper eye, of course, it's sagging. It could be scar tissue in the eyebrow area. So, you know, it'd be good to maybe do a little bit of clapping right here above, okay? And if I was doing it, I would use my clapper, just the edge of it, and I would clap this area and see if that helps. Also, use the bright eyes, but if you're in a collision, it actually could be an occipital problem or a brainstem problem. So you might want to get some Wolfe Non-Surgical in this area. I really do mean that. And you can also do clapping in this area on the occiput and in the nape of the neck. And also do some on your vagus nerve area on both sides. Sometimes it can actually be a nerve problem due to scar tissue that's actually allowing the sagging to happen. And I would put money on it, okay? I will be doing the clapping cast, as I told you that. Once the clappers sell, this round of clappers sell, that means we'll have like about 1,300 clappers out there, and then I'm going to teach the class, okay? Okay, Kathy, question. What is the benefit difference between Avicin and the Bioptron Light? For bunions, do you use DMSO, pain away, relieve to dissolve the bunion? Yeah, I already went through that the other day. So, you know, I said if you've got a bunion, then what you do is you get DMSO and you get pain away essential oil. You mix them together, put them on the Band-Aid, and then you wrap it around the bunion area. You might do that for a few days, and that'll go in there and actually soften it up. But before you do that and put that on the bunion, you're going to go in there and you want to clap the area. So I would clap the area. You see the bumpy side here? This is bumpy, this is flat. I would use the bumpy side, but then you see this edge? You see the bumps on the edge? That's called chipping. And I would chip away at that thing. And I'll tell you right now, my partner had a bunion. It was huge. And it was like a deformity, okay? And everybody says, oh, that was from wearing the shoes. It had nothing to do with that. The shoes maybe added to it, was like the straw that broke the camel's back, but it was actually crystallization, calcification, and scar tissue. And it wraps itself, and that's what a bunion is. So you want to chip at it. Actually, when I do the clapping, I will be showing the whole thing. I'm actually going to go through all the different things that clapping would do, different conditions. It's going to be a master class. I'll actually do it live on Facebook. And soon as we put it up on Facebook and then YouTube for those people live, and then it gets dropped down right away and goes into the library, okay? Because people need to opt into this because, you know, just the last clapping class I did, people are going, oh, what is this clapping? That's abusive. I would never let anybody hit me. How could you be like this? You know, the reality is when you start clapping yourself and you actually bruise, it didn't cause the bruise. That was the infection. That was the disease in your tissues. That was the block. I don't bruise. Healthy people don't bruise. Healthy people don't get COVID. I could keep going on here. Okay, everything is ass backwards when it comes to health. All right, so you know I'm going to have people opt in. It'll in my library. It'll say you're coming in, and it is your personal right to learn if you come in here, and this is for information purposes only. Because when you go to your doctor and you go, this Dr. Wolfe showed me this clapping and I clapped my hip and now it went all black and blue and even went black and blue up into my back, and the doctor's going to go, oh my God, who does he think he is? He's somebody that knows better than your doctor. Because every dis-ease you have in your body, if you were to clap that area, you would see purple color, dark purple black if it's worse, black if it's even worse than that. You'll see brown because of heavy toxicity, waste. You'll see green if it's actually a fungal problem come to the top. They don't know this, and they don't care to know it because they don't work in that aspect, okay? All right. Okay. Sorry, everyone. I've got to delete some of these because these messages are coming in so fast. It's like, yeah. So I'm going to get rid of these. Okay, what is the benefit between the Avicen and the Bioptron? The Bioptron is an amazing device, especially for the eyes. It can do amazing things for people with eye problems. It increases the circulation by 33 to 36% light energy, and you can also use different colors to do color therapy within the body. But when it comes to oxygenation, when it comes to microcirculation, when it comes to putting somebody in a parasympathetic state so they'll heal, nothing's better than the Avicen, okay? Nothing's better than the Avicen. And the Avicen will just put your hand in it, you'll fall asleep. Myself, I'm lucky I have a Bioptron and an Avicen, so I get a double whammy. You know, Einstein said that energy medicine would be the health of the future. Well, yeah, it is, but understand something. You are the medicine. You are the energy medicine. You are spirit. You feed your spirit, you'll heal your body. But energy medicine is, because remember what I told you before? It doesn't matter what you eat and drink. It all leaves the body. The whole drink leaves the body. The whole thing you eat leaves the body. No matter what you eat, what you take in, what supplement it is, it's only the vibration that's left afterwards. So the invisible actually creates the physical. The invisible creates the physical. God created man. Vibration, frequency creates tissue. Thought form creates physical form. They don't want you to know any of this. I hope you know that. I hope you know that medicine, religion, government has come in between us and our spirit. Okay? All right. Let me just do this last one. Karen, how to work through depression and grief. I need to get to the other side of this to heal my body from cancer. Absolutely, because cancer is all the negative emotions all bound up into a big ball called a tumor in most cases. Okay, and cancer is fear and hate and anger all wrapped up. And am I saying that you are an angry person? No. Am I saying that you are a hateful person? No. Am I telling you that you are running hate and anger programs in the subconscious of your mind? Yes, I am. Am I telling you that you have a lot of fear? Yes, you do. If I had cancer, I wouldn't fear it, but I'm not even going to get cancer. So understand that. And the reality is, they are evil. They knew, okay, the Cancer Association figured out something, and they figured this out about 15 years ago, that the more they advertise, the more money they can make. The more they advertise cancer, the more people got cancer. Did you get that? I'm going to say it again. Go do your research. The more we advertise cancer, the more people will get cancer, and the more money we'll make. Okay, so cancer is the holy grail for pharmaceutical companies, and not so much for medical doctors, because I got to tell you something, they're human beings. They're not the system. But I will tell you this, chemo, when they sell chemo, doctors that's the only time they make money. So the most toxic, killing poison in the world, if they sell it, they get a kickback. All right. How do I work through depression? You start off with the 12 loving steps, and you go into my library, click on those, watch my video, and then guess what? Do the 4 pillars first. Order yourself 10 love bands for $5. They come in different colors. Black. Oh, where are they here? Do I have it here? Can you ask them where the hand is? Okay, it must be upstairs. Can you get it for me? So they come in different colors. Order 10 of them for yourself, because you'll use them. Then learn how to do the love band, life band. Learn how to do the mirror work. Learn how to connect to your breath. Set your phone for every 5 minutes to do a ding to see if you're in the present moment and focused on only what you want, beautiful. Okay? And then what I want you to do is I want you to put sticky notes all over the house. Then I want you to get into a car. You're not allowed to turn it on till you look at the mirror and go, I love you. I love you, Karen. You're already healed. We got this. Okay? You can't go out of the car and into the house unless you look at the mirror again. You can't leave the bathroom, and if you do when you're in the house, you got to go back in and do your mirror work. You got to do your couples connection in front of a mirror for 10 minutes, looking in your eyes and just knowing that you got this. Okay? Just look in your eyes. And then take a look at what's called my Braveheart oath. And then learn the Braveheart oath, and then start repeating the Braveheart oath in the mirror until you've taken my Braveheart oath, and then you've changed it to suit you, Karen. Okay, these are the things that you do. Okay? All right? And what I want you to do is I want you to really connect to your breath, and all the things that piss you off, make you angry, get you depressed, I want you to connect to your breath, and I want you to focus on only those things that you love in your life, and just start doing it. You know, you only have cancer because your personality created it. You only have cancer because your personality created it. You only have cancer because your personality created it. Now, why did I do that 3 times? Well, because you repeated some thought enough, because the invisible creates the physical, that you created the cancer. Oh my God, you know how powerful I am? I am so powerful. You have no idea. Now, why am I so powerful? Because that is a major thought in my mind. Now, what if there was a thought in my mind that I am so ugly, that I am so stupid, that I am so weak? What would you think I would be? Powerful? Let me tell you, depressed people have depressive thoughts. Okay. That's not with the love bands on it. Can you just tell them to bring in the love bands? This is the one with all the crystals. All right? So I need the different colors of the love bands, and there was one out there with the love bands on it. Okay. Anyways, good staff is hard to find, right, Drake? Good staff is hard to find, okay? Drake, you look after firing Jason, would you later? Okay, can you do that? If you don't, I'll fire you. Okay, all right. Okay, anyways, there you go, eh? Anyhow, and also on depression, you can also take Divine Vine. It's amazing for depression. And also for depression, you better make sure you get on our Infinite Iodine. Take a look at our Sinonian minerals, because most people are depressed because they're not getting their minerals. Our Sinonian mineral formula has 147 different nutrients in it. Go figure, eh? Okay, so we're ready. We're ready to create a really strong foundation for you. Also, you might want to take a look at practicing your smile. All right? So they come in black and white. They come in purple. And they come in white and black. There you go. Let me cancel this. Okay, this is Kim. Any help on OCD, compulsive cleaning, especially my bathroom and sinks? Well, for one thing, that's fear. And the other thing is you have to keep yourself busy because you don't want to think about the problems in your life. But the problem is those aren't problems in your life because fears aren't real. Okay, any time when we actually have an emergency, we actually know to take action. Okay, when there's an emergency, we're actually taking action. When it's just a fear, we're actually just, that's a hate program. So what do you mean, Darrell? That's not true. The subconscious has fear naturally. Yeah, there's not a lot of dinosaurs and there's not a lot of tigers around right now, or people attacking the house that I can see, except for some 5G and EMF. And the reality is that the reason why you have fear is because the government threatens you, the medical system threatens you, and Bill Gates threatens you, and Fauci threatens you, and even your husband might even threaten you. And the reason why he threatens you is because he's in fear too. Your kids will threaten you because they're in fear. So somebody better be courageous pretty soon. That's all I know. And the thing is your compulsive cleaning is to keep your mind busy, okay, all right, and you have the fear of what's going to go wrong next. And if I clean it enough, my family's going to be okay. So understand something. You know, I tell people to first get like a nutritional consultation from us, and then get an emotional, or you can buy the two together. But the reality is, if you're not going to become the master of your mind, you're not going to become the master of your body, and you're not going to become the master of your life. I mean, would you say, Kim, that you have the perfect day right now? Well, if you don't have the perfect day, why aren't you working on getting the perfect day? And nothing should be more important than you getting the perfect day. Because if you could create the perfect day for yourself, you could create it for your children. All right? And your husband, well, let me just put it this way. Males are really slow, so he may not even come along with this, and who cares? Don't knock yourself out on trying to get the male species to love themselves, okay? Because men have been raised to stuff their emotions, and they need to be right even when they're wrong, okay? Which is why we're in trouble, okay? All right. So you would actually think I hate men, but it's not true. I don't. I don't hate men. I just don't like that the way they think is getting us into a huge problem right now, okay? Because if the men in the family were to actually have taken action, we wouldn't be here. Barisha, what is structured water, doctor? I talked about it earlier. And guess what? Structured water is rainwater, fast-moving rivers, and waterfalls. And it's the only water that our ancestors drank. Go figure. But now we got to get alkaline water. Now we got to get bottled ozonated water. Now we got to have distilled water, reverse osmosis. Nature doesn't make any of those waters. Did you know that? Nature makes structured water, and that's a healing water. And structured water hydrates 1,000% better than the rest of these waters. Go figure. It also gets rid of the memory of anyone who drank it, or any vibration of any chemical or any toxin in it. Even if the physical compound is still in there, it can't harm you. And then you're going to say, you don't know what you're talking about, Dr. Wolfe. And then I'll tell you, why are the birds, the bees, the flowers, the trees, the microorganisms not being bothered by the rain that Bill Gates is trying to block out the sun, and the chemtrails? Why? That's all in the water now. But why is that bothering the organisms? Because God was smart enough to know that if we structured the water, we could protect ourselves against these psychos. There's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay. Let me see here. Can you tell that it's Friday and I've had enough? And that I have as much right as any of these people who have billions or trillions or whatever, or their families have controlled the planet, that I have just as much right or even more because I'm in harmony with nature? I have a right to be here. Even if your voice is going to quiver, speak up. What to do for toenail fungus? Probably the Candida yeast overgrowth. Well, it is, but a Candida diet's not going to look after it. Now, the same thing that you were going to do for the bunion, you would take DMSO, but now we have what's called a triple strength oregano. You could take maybe 1 drop in your mouth. It's really powerful. But then you would mix that with the DMSO and put that on a Band-Aid, but only a little bit of DMSO and a whole bunch of oregano, and wrap that around the toenail fungus. That's going to help to kill locally. But if you've got toenail fungus, and I can say this, and people don't like it, and people bash me, then you are precancerous, okay? Because that's what fungus is, right? So you want to make sure that you go in and you watch the rest of the things I said, and you want to go in and heal your large intestine and get rid of the alcohol, the sugar, the flour, the dairy, and you want to start really taking a look at the perfect day diet and maybe advanced water fasting and daily cleansing tea, tummy love, black gold. But it doesn't matter. You can do all the Candida diets you want, but you got to repair that large intestine, and then you've got to get rid of your bad habits. So you got to go through your cupboards in your house and your fridge and get rid of all the things that caused it. And just remember something, as long as you're eating animal products, and if they're not organic and free range, then they're causing the problem, because animals are fed so many antibiotics now because they're the walking dead, okay? Especially if they're not fed right, okay? All right. There you go. Can't believe all the questions today. You know what I said to everybody? Because it was actually quiet. Today was the first quiet day on the phones here. It was actually quiet here, okay? And I said to everybody, well, it's going to be so quiet today. I'll tell you, I'll be in and out of there. Jennifer, do you heal people with ALS? No, they heal themselves. The last ALS patient I had was just 2 provinces over, and that ALS patient was going to be taken to a nursing home. They couldn't even lift up their head and talk anymore, and within 2 weeks they could lift up their head, they could actually move their hand, and they can talk. And I don't care if you believe me, I have no reason to lie. Can you dig that out? Can you dig that out? Okay, I'm going to play that testimonial for you. When are we going to do that? Tuesday morning at 5 a.m., that's the one we're going to play. Okay? All right? It's an audio. Remember it? Okay, we'll go dig that out. There's your answer. Listen to this and then tell me what you think. It's a progressive nervous system disease that affects nerve cells in the brain, spinal cord, causing loss of muscle control. I'll play that for you guys. And why don't we let somebody talk that actually was the one? He'll be talking, right? Yeah, how do you like that? He'll be talking. Okay. What if we can't afford all the stuff? Well, the reality is guess what? You don't have to afford all the stuff. You need to be able to buy into you. Can you buy into you? Can you love you? Can you respect you? Can you honor you? Can you just stop buying the stuff that's making you sick? Because if you stop buying the stuff that's making you sick, you'll have enough money to do the consultation with us. There's a good start. And maybe do the daily cleansing tea and the tummy love and the black gold. Anybody can afford that. And don't tell me you can't. If you tell me you can't, then I'll tell you you're not telling the truth. So at least start there. And at least have a coach. Somebody who's going to support you when your subconscious says, no, go eat that. No, go spend money on that. And it's not good for you. If I were to come into your life right now, who is this now? Marvia. So if I were to come to your life right now and be with you for a day, go through your cupboards, go through your fridge, I could find all the money that you need to do this. Did you hear what I just said? If I went through even your bathroom, I would be able to find even more money to do this. If I were to go into your garage, I could find even more money to do this. So everything is a priority. And guess what? Your subconscious says, well, I need to have this, this, and this, and this, and it may be killing you. But you didn't even think about that, did you? If we were to go in there and remove the things that were actually undermining your health, oh, you'd have wealth all right. And the day that you actually start to get healthy, you'll be as sharp as a pin, and you'll know how to make more money. You'll be more efficient. You'll have more energy, okay? And that's that. And remember something. You are your thoughts. You are your poverty. You are your imagination. How's your imagination doing? Because we see everything in an image first. I'm not picking on you, so I want everybody to know this. Everybody where you are, I was. So understand that. And I wish that I had someone that would say, hey, your subconscious is ruling, schooling, and fooling you. And it's all these evil psychos out there, Darrell, that downloaded these programs to your mother and father and their mother and father, and then all the TV that you didn't realize you were watching, and all the commercials you got, and all the people that you listened to that listened to them, and then you based your life off of that. What a waste. Do you mix moringa oil with silver bullet or silver gel for the skin? No, you don't. Or put it on alone. Moringa oil would be really good for dry skin. It's good for eczema and psoriasis. You can mix with the moringa oil. You could mix, you mix your essential oils with that, okay? You can mix essential oils with silver bullet gel, but you're not going to mix silver bullet gel and oil together, the moringa oil, okay? Well, I'm getting better at this. Nikki, Crohn's disease and spinal fusion, T3 to L3 at 15 years old. I'm on disability because what this disease and doctors have done to my body and my mind and my life, and I'm starting with naturopathic doctor on Monday. What should I do? Well, you better make sure it's a good naturopathic doctor. And the reality is guess what? Crohn's disease is called lead pipe disease because you have so much scar tissue in your small intestine. And if you had T3 to L3, then that means that you have so much scar tissue around your spine, and your spinal fluid carries more information and communication to your brain than anything else in your body. So if you don't get rid of that scar tissue that was caused from the surgery that's wrapped around your low back, okay, then guess what? You're not going to open things up. What I would do is go in from your tip of your coccyx all the way up to your occiput, and I would remove all the scar tissue. And guess what? You ready for this? I guarantee you're 1.5 inches shorter than when this happened. And guess what? If we went in, we'd make you 1 inch taller in 1 hour. And that's because we're going to get rid of the scar tissue and those discs in between the vertebrae. We're going to restore the circulation back in there because the discs, they say, oh my God, your discs are gone. No, they're not. They dehydrated like beef jerky. I mean, medicine is going to opt to do surgery and put pipes in you, valves in you, mesh in you, hip replacement. They're going to try to replace anything they can because they work for the robotics world, okay? That's it. And they work for the pharmaceutical world. They don't work for you and the God-given healing of your body. End of story. And that's it. You might have a doctor out there and an MD that does, but guess what? That's like a unicorn. And understand something, everyone. You can go and work with a naturopathic doctor or anybody else you want. But I will tell you this much. If you work with us, we'll work with you and we'll go on video with you. We'll charge you less and we'll give you more. And I'm telling you right now, You don't need to go see a naturopathic doctor. How would you like us to teach you how to do the clapping? How would you like? Do you know how to do the pelvic activation? Do you know how to do the pelvic enhancer? Do you know how to do the belly button therapy? Because if you're not going to do the belly button therapy, which will cost you hardly anything, how are you going to get the Crohn's disease to unravel in your stomach? If you don't go in there and use that to start breaking up the scar tissue, what are they going to do? Yeah, you're not going to get rid of the scar tissue by just taking supplementation, unless you want to take tons of fiber clear and go on an advanced water fast, because that's the only way you'd be able to do it. You're going to have to go physically in there and work with this to pull the scar tissue apart. You know, I really like when people want to challenge me. So anybody who wants to challenge me out there on a professional level or wants to challenge me on anything I said, I'm welcome to do this right live on my shows. Because you know what? That's the way that I really got people to just be quiet. Okay? Either prove it or just be quiet. Because at the end of the day, I work for you. I don't work for the government. I don't work for any other professional system or organization. I am Darrell Wolfe. That's it. Okay? I just got really great self-empowering information to help people. Because if we don't give back people their power, then this world will just stay crippled, won't it? Can SAC calcium help to regenerate stage 5 kidney disease? Well, of course it's going to help. But are you drinking structured water? Are you still eating animal products and sugar? And would you actually go on an advanced water fast so you could unleash stem cell therapy and autophagy so we can go in and eat up the disease cells in your kidneys? Would you do all that for me? So understand something. And would you also do clapping, light clapping around the kidneys to stimulate more circulation? Listen, there's more to it than just taking a pill, okay? And sitting back and praying, because you could pray all bloody day, but taking massive personal action and knowing what to do is going to turn this thing around, okay? But yes, the SAC calcium is a great help. Zira, if I buy organic milk to make yogurt or kefir at home, is it okay? No. Cow's milk is cow's milk. Don't do it. Get coconut milk or you use other milks, but get away from cow's milk. It's poison. End of story. That's it. Scary Dairy. I got sued $250,000 for writing an article called Scary Dairy when I was 32 years old, and they never got a nickel from me. Okay? I also have sciatica. Well, go ahead and make yogurt out of dairy and then inflame your bowel and then leak more waste into your pelvis that will then cause more scar tissue in the sciatic nerve, and you'll have more problems, okay? And if you've got sciatica, all you got to do is we could go in there, and I just love saying this because it's true. I could go in there, it's called the SI joints, and you have them in your low back, and I could go into the SI joint and loosen up and pull apart all the scar tissue and crystallization, and the sciatic nerve runs from the spine right there, comes underneath that SI joint. So we're going to go and we're going to work that, pull the scar tissue apart, and right here is where it usually gets pinched, and then I'm going to clean that out. Then I would come over the hip, clean that out, and then it comes out your butt. There's a fossa, and it comes out the bottom, and then we're going to find a knot right here on the sciatic nerve because you inflamed it so much, and then we're going to loosen that and pull that apart. We win. Okay, so if they're not doing that and they're not working on the scar tissue issue, then what are they doing? Okay, so you need to take a look at that. I'd also be looking at the pelvic activation squat, and I would also be looking at the pelvic expander. Go look at my videos. Marvia, what can I expect when I start pineal elixir? Well, we know it helps to decalcify the pineal gland and helps the brain. We also know it helps to repair the mitochondria in the human body. Okay? If you go to my library, and take a look at the humic fulvic guide, and the whole ATP information is all laid out in there, the whole science of humic and fulvic, and it's all from PubMed. It's not us. These are all third-party studies, so you can take a look at that. Okay? Anita, hi Dr. Darrell. My grandson has Tuberous Sclerosis Complex. What can I do? Oh, I just love these big names, don't you? Yeah. Okay, so Tuberous Sclerosis Complex is a rare, multi-system, autosomal dominant genetic disease that causes non-cancerous tumors to grow in the brain and on other vital organs such as the kidneys, heart, liver, lungs, and skin. And guess what? We know, okay, that, one second here, it's not genetic. It's not genetic. Don't believe me. Go look up the Genome Project, and you'll find out they wanted to prove that all these diseases were genetic. And I'll tell you, once somebody tells you that your kid has something that's genetic, then you know that you can't do much about it, can you? And that means you're going to have to just rely on the medical doctors. What if they said that, there could be an alteration in there, but understand, depending on what the parents think, drink, and eat, and do, will depend on how that child heals itself. And I'm not telling you to go to the parents and tell them to come to me. I didn't say that. But understand something. Even if the parents want to go and work through the medical system, right? Why wouldn't they try to do everything they can naturally? Because it's never going to interfere with anything the medical system does. Why? Well, we just couldn't ride 2 horses, could we? That's what my uncle said to me. Well, Darrell, I really believe in you, but I can't ride 2 horses. I got to do the chemo and the radiation for my prostate cancer. And as soon as he did it, he was gone in 3 months. He came here, and we did a fast with him for 11 days. He never looked better, never felt better. And then he went home, but then guess what? No fault of hers, but he went home to his wife, and his wife doesn't believe in this. So he goes back to his old diet. And then when you hang around with people that believe in other parts of healing, he didn't have my support. So, Darrell, I can't ride 2 horses. All right? So, you know what? I say I am not going to tell anybody what to do. This is not my job. Everybody makes their own personal decisions. I don't promise cures because I don't have to. The body's amazing. All I do is work with nature. Your body does the rest. Okay? And if you're willing to listen, everything I have, you're not risking your life, your health, just some time, and time will tell all. Joan, the other day I purchased a bunch of products and I was trying to find your iodine. Is that back in stock or is it coming? I don't know, guys. I think that people are using COVID for their lack of business sense. You have no idea, Joan, how hard it's been to get my iodine back up on the shelf. I'll have the infinite iodine back up on the shelf in 4 weeks with my Sinonian minerals. And you know what? These 2 products are life-giving. I don't know anybody that shouldn't be on these 2 products. And meanwhile, I can't seem to get them on the shelf, but I will. Okay? Mary, what can happen to men who have a root canal? Well, they get heart disease. Okay? But wherever the weakness is, the weak link in the body, it will infect that area. It's like this. There's a river. There's a tight bend. Wherever the tight bend is and wherever the blockage is, that's where the infection is going to be the worst. And all root canals give infection. Nobody should have a root canal. Root canals are totally dangerous, and I just wouldn't have one. You can't have them. All right? And if you do, you better be on your game because you've got tons of infection leaking into your body. And if you don't clean up your lifestyle, and if you're not doing things like the tummy love and the black gold and 1 second, brain fart. Tummy love, black gold, and daily cleansing tea. And then I would even be looking at doing like the ultimate coffee enema. And then I'd be looking at doing water fasting. I'm telling you right now, I'd be on top of this thing like you wouldn't believe. because it's like you're just asking for trouble. I want to ask you a question. How do these organizations get away with this? The Dental Association, the Medical Association, the Pharmaceutical Association, the Cancer Association. I mean, how did they get away with this? I mean, you actually think that these guys are called healthcare. Not you personally, but the majority does. What to do for anxiety and PTSD? Well, PTSD, again, I said, if it's from somebody coming back from being in the forces, let's call it shell shock, because that's what it's really called. And understand something. Take a look at my 12 loving steps. And then what I would suggest is that they do get on Divine Vine. They take magnesium. And but understand something. If you're not going to go back and rewrite your story, oh, what did I just say? I said change your personality. Or what did I say? I said change the major thoughts you have. Okay? You can't have PTSD and anxiety unless you tell yourself the same fearful, scary story all the time. That's not true, Darrell. Yes, it is true. And you do it on a subconscious level. So if you were to actually consciously making a conscious effort and putting sticky notes all over the place on just your dreams and your passion and what you deserve and what you should do, and then do mirror work and do love band work, and then quit hanging around with people that drink alcohol, people that toke because they got to calm their nerves down, and then people who have to take all kinds of drugs. And what do you do with your spare time? Guaranteed, people with anxiety and PTSD are not out there playing sports. They're not out there saying, how can I create and how can I go out there and support other people? How can I get my life together? We get so tied up into our disease, okay? We get so tied up into it. We get tied up into the program. We become the program. That becomes our identity. So what you need to make a new identity. So you got to change your personality or you won't change your reality, and that's it. You know, I do consultations, but I'm not the cheapest guy in town, and I'll tell you that. Okay, I've been doing this now for 40 years. I've done almost 27,000 emotional consultations, emotional, for people. It takes me like minutes to be able to tap into a person right away. It's not hard to figure out someone's story when you come from your heart and you really care, and when you don't need their approval. And you're not going to take it personal when you go to tell them what's really going on and they start to squirm a little bit, because that's okay. Your subconscious is going to deny whatever is your prominent thought. Whatever your prominent thoughts are, whatever you are prominently, it's going to deny it, okay? Because that's its job. It hates the future, can't stand the present, and it loves to wallow in the garbage of the old story. Stop telling the old story. Stop telling it. Yeah, but you don't understand, Darrell. You don't live my life. You haven't been through my hell. Yeah? You don't think so? You don't know what my life was like. Let me tell you something. You have no idea. Even just in the last 20 years, you don't know what I've gone through. But guess what? I'm not the story. I am going to be the storyteller and tell a real story. It's a Braveheart story. I'm going to go back there. I'm going to forgive those who didn't know better. I'm going to forgive myself, and I'm going to tell myself a new story, one that can make me pole vault into the present moment to be the creator I was meant to be. Denise, do you know anything about vestibular migraines, 24/7, dizziness, balance problems? Yes, I do. Came on suddenly 2 years ago, never left. I also suffer from chronic fatigue syndrome. Okay, so I want to tell you about a gentleman who came, 72 years old, okay, and he had migraine headaches for 40 years. Okay, his wife called me up, and she said, yes. Okay, so now he's had a headache, and he had a headache, and it was thumping. It was so bad, he couldn't think, he couldn't move, and it was wintertime. They came up from Colorado, and he had the tractor on, and he stayed under the tractor. He couldn't even drive the tractor back. They didn't know where he was. They owned this huge property. He almost froze to death. So anyways, he calls up and he says, well, can you do anything about it? I said, come here, definitely. We will get rid of those, right? And he hung up on me. 2 weeks later, calls me back again, and he says, well, everybody says that. And I go, well, come and find out. Now, I know you don't want to believe this story, because nobody wants to believe this story. But when he came up, he didn't realize it, but right in the back of his occiput by his brainstem, okay, I found a calcium deposit, and it was pushing, and every time that he would get stressed out, it would push on it. Now, I'm not saying everybody's the same, but the reality is guess what? Denise, if I take a look at the way you deal with anxiety, if I take a look at how much water you drink and what kind of water you drink, if I take a look at your bowels, and if we take a look at flushing your liver out, and if we take a look at the things you're addicted to, but you haven't told me that yet, we're coming for you, girl. And understand something. If you want to go the medical route, then guess what? They're not going to do anything that I'm going to do. So understand something. When you're done telling me you've done everything and you've suffered for 20 years, they're not going to do anything that I'm going to do, because everything I'm going to do, they're just not going to do it. I don't do drugs. I don't do surgery. I don't do x-rays. I don't need to do any of this stuff. All right? The body will heal itself. We just need to find the balance. And most of the time, remember something, you can't have a physical problem until you have an emotional problem first. Okay? So understand something. Emotional problem meaning that it could have happened from 0 to 7. Now, do we need to find out what it was? No. But do we need to get rid of the belief that keeps on creating the blocks of you not loving, honoring, and protecting and respecting yourself? Because it does boil down to that on an emotional level. And then we'll take a look what the invisible created, which was the physical problem. Because every emotion will create a certain problem in the body. And then let's say we have 3 different negative beliefs. They come together to create their own illness. It's like the mad scientist, okay? And the chemist is the brain, and then your thoughts decide the concoction that you're going to formulate, okay? I'd always say get a consultation to everybody, and that's a great place to start. And understand, we all our consultations, maybe not even probably 1 out of every 500 are done in here. You know, in the last 2 weeks, we've done over 85 consultations out of our clinic. Think about that. 2 weeks, 85 consultations. I hope you can grasp this. And that's because of what we charge and the support that we give, okay? All right? Like I said, I've got like between master consultants, 8, and between people in the staff, I've got 14 people just answering phones, helping answer questions, all right? Because I'm going to tell you something. If you don't get the proper support, you're never going to make it. And you know as well as I do, you're not going to get it out there. You know, you can go to a practitioner, but is that practitioner going to be there for you? Is that practitioner going to grow with you? Lena, what vitamins do you have? Wow. I'll tell you what. We are going to do the Perfect Day nutritional supplements, aren't we? Right? And that's in about 5 weeks. I'm only going to do it once. I don't want to go through all my nutritionals, and I don't carry vitamins. I carry whole foods, whole nutritional food. Vitamins aren't the way to go. And understand, take a look at my Sinonian minerals in my Perfect Day. Go take a look at those. Take a look at my iodine. There's nothing like it. So understand that. Take a look at my life crystals. Take a look at my humic, my fulvic, my tummy love. Take a look at my Ormus minerals, my daily cleansing tea, all my SAC calciums, the different calciums, all my essential oils. We make them all. I just take a look at my curcumin cayenne. It's the best in the world. I really know it is because I've searched everything out on it. Everything that I have, I've handpicked. And again, I'm going to tell you, we don't sell vitamins. We sell whole food, high vibrational supplementation. The vibration in a supplement is more important than what's in the capsule, because the only thing that's left behind is the vibration, and it's the vibration that creates The invisible creates the physical, okay? We're going to have to wrap it up, everyone. And I'll tell you why. We've been 2 hours. And Drake, he gets very restless. Don't you, Drake? Yeah. So this will be the last question. And then Monday, I'll finish the rest of them, won't I? Okay? So it's really easy. So those of you who had your questions on here, you don't have to watch me. I know you don't want to watch me for 2 hours. Okay? So you can go right to the question. So you'll have these done Monday afternoon, right? So Monday afternoon, this show will be up with time stamped, so you can go right to the question, because we've all got busy lives, right? But don't be busy, okay? Make sure it's enjoyable and you're creating the most amazing life. Stay connected to your breath, keep a slight smile on your face, and own the moment, because that's the only place you have power. And that's what they want you to do, is not stay in the present moment. If you're in the present moment, we wouldn't have made all these mistakes that we made, okay? What kind of oil can you put in your belly button? Well, I think you can put anything in there you want. It's your belly button. No, I'm kidding. So it depends on what condition that is, Denise. Dina. Sorry, it's Dina. If you could let me know, I would put moringa oil in there. Moringa oil has more nutritional value in it than any other oil. Our moringa oil is concentrated and structured, so try it out. And it's the least expensive on the market when you go to check other people with moringa oil. I think you will find that. Anyways, I think that's a wrap. What a week, eh? What a life. That's all I want to say. What a week and what a life. I hope you have the best night tonight. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go and hydrate. And then I'm going to go take a nice long walk. There's a beautiful park. And just get some fresh air. And then tonight I'm going to come back and I'm going to do some research. And right now, this weekend, my research is, oh my gosh, they'll be so happy. I'm going to be researching the Illuminati. I'm going to go back 260 years to the person who actually invented it this weekend. And I'm just going to be doing a lot of research and time stamping it, because I always like to know, okay, when did it start? What was the progression that got us here? Because this is the crescendo. This is when everything came together for them. This was the ultimate moment. 260 years of preparation. Can you believe that? Rothschilds, Rockefellers, and then they all got their little psychos out there and they all came together. They plotted this while you were just what? What were you doing? Doing the laundry, going for groceries, taking your children to school. And oh my God, our world leaders and those organizations like the UN, the CDC, World Health Organization, were plotting to steal your spirit in the night. Go figure, eh? Who would even believe this? I mean, we could make a movie about this someday, and I'll tell you right now, in 100 years, people will not believe that someone pulled this thing. I just can't believe it. Anyways, you got to believe what you got to believe, and but you better believe in you. Thanks for joining me. Have the best day of your life, and I truly mean that. When I say things, it's not to scare you, because the reality is, guess what? I always want to know the truth. Yeah, it's true. Sometimes I will find out the truth and go, that's a little hard to digest. But you know what? It's always going to be okay if you connect to your breath, put a slight smile on, and know that this is the adventure of a lifetime. God bless. Thanks for joining me. If you're looking for life-saving and life-changing information, well, you've come to the right place. Don't forget to click and subscribe. Stay connected.